Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Monday Night LifeVantage Opportunity Webinar. My name is Gabe Pearson, and I have the honor and privilege every Monday night of sharing this incredible opportunity with all of you. I have been with LifeVantage now, my goodness, a little over 9 years. I was in the fitness industry for my entire career. I was one of the few people that never ever leave a job. So I started out, my goodness, back in 1979 as a health club instructor, owned some gyms for 20 years, got out of the gym business, owned a wellness company for 10 years. In 2009, we got hit hard financially. We lost 3 six-figure contracts, literally brought us to our knees. It's really incredible, though, when one door closes, another one opens. And I was invited to be a keynote speaker in Atlanta. I went up there to drum up new business, to retool, and a complete stranger came up to me after my keynote and asked me if I've ever heard of a product called Protandim. Now, what I want all of you to keep in mind, I've never endorsed a product in the 35 years I've been in the fitness industry. Never been involved in network marketing before. And if there wasn't 8 to 10 people waiting in line to speak to me behind her, I probably would have turned around and walked away from her. Next thing comes out of that woman's mouth retires me from the fitness industry 22 months later. And that was, would I be willing to watch a 9-minute video on an ABC primetime investigative report? And the rest is history. I got the science validated by a team of doctors at the Mayo Clinic. And once they put their signature on this new science, I just wanted to learn how to become a professional in this industry. And the rest is history. I mean, now it's an incredible lifestyle I've been able to provide for my family. Tonight, I have an incredible guest. We are going to cover what we call our core 4. It's called the Vitality Stack. It's literally putting this company on the map. We were known as a small little NRF2 company, and now we're known as a nutrigenomic company. And I have her bio here, and I hope she doesn't mind if I read the long version before I bring her on the screen. But I want all of you to understand who you're going to be listening to tonight and how much of an expert she is in this field of study. She incorporates conventional and allopathic medicine with nutritional, bioidentical supplementation, herbal medicine, and other disciplines such as chiropractic, massage. She believes that if each discipline worked with each other, we would be a lot better off and healthier. Basically, if something works and doesn't cause harm, she's all in for it. She's on the preventative side. She offers a very well-rounded, comprehensive approach to diagnosis and treatment. Over 20 years of practicing internal and critical care medicine gives her the ability to discern when allopathic conventional medicine is necessary and appropriate, yet provides an integrative approach to disease management that emphasis in detoxification and helping the body heal in the most natural way possible. She has 4 children that keeps her extremely busy. Her interest outside of medicine is music and athletics and water sports and traveling with her family. I want to welcome Dr. Deb Viglione to the webinar tonight. Dr. Viglione, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
That was a mouthful. It was the first time I've seen the long version of it, so hopefully I didn't butcher it. So how are you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm going to start this PowerPoint, but as I'm setting it up, it's going to take me about 15 seconds or so. Why did you choose LifeVantage? Let the viewing audience know, someone with your caliber of of prevention and integrative and complementary side of internal medicine. Why did you pick LifeVantage?
Well, I went into medicine because I wanted to cure disease. I wanted to help people get well. And I got a rude awakening when I got to medical school, and then my residency even worse, because I realized that all we were doing is treating symptoms. Unless you were a surgeon and you cut something out, we were just treating symptoms. And remained to heal people. and get at the root cause. What is making people sick? Now, back when I started practicing, autoimmune disease is kind of a rare thing and kind of an exciting thing, and it all went to the university medical centers, where specialists could deal with it. And in the 1990s, chronic fatigue syndrome, Gulf War illness, fibromyalgia were just diagnosed. And now everything has shifted. It's just a tremendous amount of diseases. These autoimmune, the number one, I guess not selling drug, but the most money spent now is on the MIBs and MABs, these immunosuppressants to treat autoimmune disease. So it tells you what a shift in healthcare we've had. And so we've been hearing for 10, 15 years that oxidative stress was behind all of this. And as the environments get more polluted, the worse the oxidative stress is gone, and if we could get a handle on it. So in my search for the root cause, I am going annually to the American Academy of Anti-Aging and Regenerative Medicine, the World Congress. It's in December in Las Vegas. I happened to, about 4 years ago, meet up with a group of doctors that were involved with Vantage and Protandim. And I was initially making fun of them because I was network marketing's worst nightmare. I was worse than you, Gabe. And I thought that they were just being brainwashed. But I went to a lecture, and when I found out what this product did in reducing oxidative stress, I was on board immediately.
Well, you're just like me. It was a total fascinating shift. And, to bring everybody up to speed, now we're known as a nutrigenomic company. And this slide right here will kind of give you an idea. This is what the Today Show said on nutrigenomics. It's the latest trend in nutrition isn't a fad diet or newly discovered supplement. It's your DNA. And basically what Fox News says, nutrigenomics is the ability to use nutrition to affect our genes. It means that we're no longer at the mercy of our DNA. And tonight, we're going to talk about this. There's a whole new paradigm in health. There's a whole new paradigm shift, getting your own body to do its own work. And to kind of bring you up to speed on what Dr. Viglione is going to be talking to all of you tonight, this company just won an award. And I never even heard of the Stevie Bronze Award, but I have this slide here, and I want all of you to understand that this Vitality Stack, which consists of 4 products that Dr. Viglione is going to be talking about, won the best new product or service in health and pharmaceutical category at the International Business Awards. Folks, there was over 3,900 different products from 74 countries, and you are looking at the #1 health and pharmaceutical product on the planet. So Dr. Viglione, what I want you to do is, I've got the slide that starts with our flagship product, Protandim Nrf 2. Can you just kind of help everyone understand, what NRF2 is and what does this incredible product do for them?
Okay, like I was saying before, the diseases are astronomical now, and they've said now that diseases are the result of oxidative stress and the inflammation that oxidative stress causes. Now, oxidative stress is just a fancy word for damage caused by free radicals. The free radicals are eating away our cells one at a time, then the cells die or get dysfunctional, the organ doesn't work right, the system doesn't work right, and pretty soon the person comes down with the disease. So we want to lower that oxidative stress. So when you take an antioxidant like a vitamin C or vitamin E, you knock out one free radical. Well, the body is literally generating millions every second. And you're never going to win the ball game taking antioxidants. Well, what we found now that we have a gene activator. NRF2 is a pathway or a gene in the body that when we take one Protandim, we turn that switch on. And then that switch then goes on and turns about 500 more genes and turn on survival things in our body. So basically what we're doing is we're turning a switch on that then makes us make millions to go get millions of bad guys every second in every cell. So we're reducing oxidative stress tremendously in just 30 days. But what I want people to understand, that it just gets better with time. This isn't something you take for a month or two to see how it does. We know this works. It's working at the cellular level, getting your cellular health back. So the longer you're on it, the better it gets.
Now, can you talk about what's in this product? What comprises of Protandim NRF2?
Okay, well, you can see at the bottom here that it's an herbal combination. We've got turmeric. That alone is used often for inflammation. We've got milk thistle. That's used primarily for liver support, liver health, liver detoxification. Green tea is considered just a very good overall antioxidant. Bacopa is used primarily for brain support. And ashwagandha is kind of an adaptogen used mostly for the adrenal. But what's unique is that when you take each one of them separately, it does basically what I was saying. But when they're combined in this precise recipe, it flips that switch at NRF2 gene. And that makes all the difference in the world, because we're, instead of, again, an idea, we are 18-fold more powerful than just doing it by itself. I mean, it's a precise synergy that you can't replicate.
So there is a slide that she was just talking about. It's the synergy of all 5 ingredients that changes the chemistry, that is 1,800% more powerful than taking turmeric by itself, for example, or green tea. So you mean to tell me if I take all 5 of those ingredients individually, it's not going to be it's not going to work the same?
No, and that's a mistake I made, Gabe. And people came and showed me that bottle early on. I looked at the ingredients and I said, "Oh, those are really good ingredients." And then I said, "Is this network marketing?" And they said, "Yes." And then I said, "Oh, it's trash," and I threw it in the trash. I said, "I got those products in my cabinet over here." Well, what I didn't realize, I was not going to get the same effect. That's how we got the patents on it. But I tell people it's like baking a cake. If you alter the recipe, you're not going to get cake, or you're going to get something that doesn't taste as good as it was supposed to be. You have to have that precise combination to actually flip that switch on.
Well, why don't you let the viewing audience understand the science that's behind this product now? And there's a slide that will kind of give you an idea, folks, but just kind of help them understand how unusual it is to have peer-reviewed studies on a dietary supplement.
Yeah, this is absolutely amazing. And this is really what did it for me, Gabe, even prior to hearing the data on it, because as you can imagine, being in integrative medicine, I'm approached by people every day trying to sell me products, trying to get me to sell their products. The problem is the products rarely all have any science behind their products. They will quote you science on an ingredient in the product, but not on their product as a whole. It's very expensive to actually get third-party studies and to study a supplement, do the proper research. And most companies don't bother. They just take ingredients that are good on their own and they stick them together in a bottle and then make claims. When I found out about this product, at the time I joined, Gabe, we have 11 what we call peer-reviewed studies. That means that they're third-party studies done by universities. They've been scrutinized, criticized, redone until the finished product meets the expectations of a board, and then the study gets published. So it's much better research than you'll find anywhere else. And we go to pubmed.gov to look for these peer-reviewed studies, because most research is not peer-reviewed. You can't really trust it. And I have never in my entire career seen a branded nutritional study supplement like Protandim with this many studies and this many universities. And it's still ongoing, Gabe. People are still studying this product.
Yeah, folks, I hope you picked up what she said. She said the studies are done on the product, not ingredients that's in our product. And that is, a monumental, reason why each and every one of you not only should be taking the product, but everybody that you love and care for needs to be taking the product, because we unequivocally know what this product will do once you put it into your body. Now, before we get into the next product, the Protandim, its sister, Protandim NRF1, what I want all of you to understand is taking antioxidants are a thing of the past. You heard what Dr. Viglione said. Vitamin E, vitamin C, you're killing one bad guy for every one good guy. This product activates your own antioxidant enzymes. All right. So they're 1,000,000 times more powerful. So making antioxidants is the future. You're killing 1,000,000 bad guys per second. So I'll just ask you a simple question. What team do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the one and done team, what we call trailing edge technology? Or do you want to be on the 1 in 1,000,000 team? This brand spanking new technology. So Dr. Viglione, let's talk about the sister product or the brother product, of Protandim NRF2. Let's talk about Protandim.
Before we go on, I would like to mention it showed the National Institute on Aging that in 2016 they completed a longevity study, and Protandim was the only nutritional supplement that was shown to extend median life in male mice. And they always study mice when they study longevity. So that was actually huge.
That's the first time ever, folks. They've been doing that for decades and decades and decades. And finally, there's something that, this product works inside the cell. So it's just simply getting your own body to do its own work, folks. What your body was meant to do for the first 20 years of life. And that's make more good guys. Now let's talk about, this is one of my favorite products. Let's talk about NRF1.
Okay. Well, now I want to go back just to NRF2 for a minute. Now, when you're making all these good guys, one of the things that you're doing is getting rid of the bad guys. You're getting rid of free radicals. You're getting rid of heavy metals in the body. You're getting rid of pesticides. And that is taking out the trash. That's the easiest way. So you're taking out trash. Well, taking out trash takes energy to do it. Now, our body's main mechanism for producing energy is in what we call mitochondria. They're little bean-shaped things that are inside all our cells, and they make 90% of our energy. As we get older, those mitochondria actually start getting destroyed by its own waste product, which is free radicals. So it's funny because mitochondria, in the process of just doing the work, generating energy, their waste product is free radicals. And then those free radicals destroy the mitochondria. That's why we get older and more tired. We don't have the energy that we do when we were children, running around the place. And one of the things that they're talking about now and gave in my conferences, how important mitochondria are to maintaining cellular health in the body. That as those mitochondria get dysfunctional, the cell's either going to die or it's going to mutate into a cancer cell with abnormal growth, which is not what we want. So it's very important to keep healthy mitochondria. What I love about this product, it is an industry first. It is F1 activator. That pathway produces more mitochondria and repairs the existing mitochondria. That is absolutely huge. Nothing else today has done that. And there was something in Direct Science released just this week about how important activating NRF1 is going to be in maintaining cellular health, preventing disease, treating and preventing cancer. So absolutely huge. And we're the first. And I love it.
Yes, I tell you what, I mean, I don't have too many testimonials. I knock on wood, I've been healthy my entire adult life. But I tell you what, when I start taking NRF2 and NRF1 together, for me, it was that REM sleep. I mean, I was in that deep sleep. So I slept a lot more sound. And what's I feel daily is just mental clarity. I do a lot of writing because I do a lot of speeches when I travel, and I don't have foggy brain anymore. And it's everything's just crystal clear. Everything is just, it seems like it's exaggerated. Everything it's almost like my vision has gotten better. But
I think it probably has.
I'm telling you, it's incredible. And I've taken supplements my entire life. I've never had anything like this. And folks, what Dr. Viglione was just talking about, she was talking about mitochondrial decline, which is the second main biochemical effect of aging. It's just the way it is. And all this pathway does is increase cellular energy called ATP. and she had mentioned the word oxidative stress, how and why we age, and a major contributing factor in how we get diseases. That is the main biochemical effect in aging. So NRF2 reduces oxidative stress by 40%, and this product hits that mitochondrial decline that we all go through as we start to age. So again, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you have all natural products that work synergistically together, and that's where nutrigenomics come in. And Dr. Viglione, can you talk a little bit about nutrigenomics so the lay person would understand?
Yes, it's basically using nutritional compounds to manipulate your gene expression. Your genes, I like to say, is the deck of cards you've been dealt. So those are your genes, and some people believe you can change them, but I feel like, that's what you were dealt. But you don't have to get the disease just because you have the gene. You can change that with your environment, and that's what we do when we biohack. I mean, we're looking at exercise, diet, and use nutritional compounds. We can actually study our genes, see where we have problems, and address that, with a nutritional compound or supplement. But what I love about these two is everybody has the NRF1 and NRF2 pathway, and so it can help everybody because it will turn those genes on and the production on. And the nice thing about NRF1 is it's separate from the traditional mitochondrial support we've used, and you could some of those in the ingredients. Alpha-linoleic acid or CoQ10, that's a big one. Acetyl L-carnitine and L-carnitine are used to support mitochondria, but again, it's the synergy that's activating a pathway in the body. So it's much different than taking those ingredients by themselves.
Yeah, folks, it works on the inside of the cell. You're going to be hearing about the activation of pathways. You're going to be hearing the term oxidative stress in nutrigenomics. They will be household names. And there is an opportunity to attach to the science that we're talking to all of you about, and we'll get to that in a second. So the first two products were the pathways, okay, NRF1 and NRF2. Dr. Viglione, the more I learn about, how important, this product is to the body, this probiotic, can you just kind of walk everyone through what separates this one from all the rest?
Sure. First of all, everyone needs a probiotic. Even if you don't think you do because your bowels are normal, you move them every day, you don't have any gas or bloating, you need a probiotic to help keep what we call your gap junctions or your tight junctions together. Your cells in your intestine are a barrier to infection, disease, bad compounds entering your body, and it's only one cell thick. And so those gap junctions, if you don't have the proper bacteria, or what they call a microbiome, they blow apart, and that causes leaky gut and lets all these things into your body that you don't need to have. And again, that causes problems, inflammation, etc., disease. So you've got to have a healthy microbiome, which just tells you all the bacteria in the intestine. So even if you don't think you need one, you do need one. Okay, then there's hundreds, probably thousands to choose from, and I use it through my career. And I check people's poop, Gabe, and I look and see what bacteria they have in that. And I have really been frustrated through the years trying to fix people's microbiome, with multiple things. Well, when this came out, I said, well, I'm going to try it because I'm involved with LifeVantage. But I was underwhelmed with the bottle because it only has 6 billion CFUs or colony-forming units, where they're telling us 20. I've got one in my refrigerator at work that's 900 billion. Well, the reason they put so many in these products is because only about 4% make it past the stomach. And then we have a lot of people are getting what we call small bowel overgrowth. Why? Because that probiotic is dumping right there into the small bowel and isn't getting down into the large bowel. So what this one does is has a patented BioTrack delayed release technology. So those bacteria are released throughout the intestine where they need to go. And if you take it on the stomach, Gabe, you can get 85% delivery, but it guarantees at least 60%. That's absolutely huge and has changed how my patients are recovering and how fast they're recovering, and it's changed their stool samples with a little bitty 6 billion, and they're getting there and they're powerful and they're getting it done. Now, the other part that's great about this is this Wellmune, that we're using the quantities that were done in the studies that showed improvement in the immune system. That Wellmune activates the white cells or macrophages in the intestine to help us fight the yeast, the bacteria, the things that are trying to come into our bodies. So that's just an amazing extra that we added to it.
Well, what I learned last week from Dr. Rodardi was by taking this product on an empty stomach, that's where you get the 85 percentile.
Right.
So folks, what I want all of you to understand, this is layman's example, is when you take the probiotics, the reason why 4% gets through and 96% doesn't is because your stomach acid eats it up. It's encapsulated and it's timed release. So at a minimum, 60% gets to where it's supposed to be. And when you start to do your research on how important gut health is, it's actually, they're calling it our second brain. So it's something very, very important and you shouldn't take lightly. And this product is by far more supreme than anything else out there. And there's studies and patents behind what Dr. Viglione just talked about. Now let's get to the last one. That is the Omega Plus. Can you kind of help everyone? There's a lot of omegas out there, right? What separates this from everything else?
With omegas is you've got to have a very, very pure fish oil, because fish obviously are exposed to a lot of chemicals, particularly heavy metals like mercury. So you've got to make sure you have a pure fish oil that's been distilled, that doesn't have any heavy metals or any pollutants, forever, heaven forbid, from the oil spill that we had in our Gulf. You also want, and not be oxidized. So it has to be processed quickly, and it has to have protectants in there to keep it from oxidizing. One of the biggest problems too with fish oil is that fishy taste as it gets oxidized and people start burping it. They don't want to take it. So you've got to be careful when you're getting omega-3. And this is so pure that we can trace it back to the boat it came from, the fish that was caught. And that's absolutely amazing. It's also, I love that. It's traceable from boat to bottle. Ours is rich in EPA and DHA. And there's an argument in the medical, which is more important. But when you're talking about the brain, DHA is important, and the brain controls the body. And now with Alzheimer's disease and autism, I think that the DHA is winning out over the EPA. The EPA is very important for inflammation, but when you take Protandim NRF2, we're reducing inflammation with that. So this is just an added plus to add a little more EPAs. Omega-6 help to optimize our energy, help our metabolism, and help in weight management, which is a nice plus. And then we have the omega-3s, because we get way too many omega-6s in our diet. So it's just an added plus, because that when people would ask us, well, what else do we need to take? We would say, well, fish oil and vitamin D. And guess what? This one has some vitamin D. It's not generally enough for most people, but it's a start.
So in conclusion, with those 4 products, what makes them stand out like a sore thumb, and the reason why it's the #1 health and pharmaceutical product in the world for 2018, and then we just received that award, a couple of months ago. It reduces oxidative stress. That's how and why we age, and a major contributing factor of how and why we get diseases. That's the NRF2. The NRF1 boosts your mitochondrial production, improves energy. The probiotic that Dr. Viglione just talked about, supports healthy microbiome and immune function. And the Omega Plus supports healthy brain function and heart health. And those 4 together, what we call the core 4. I don't know if you've ever been overwhelmed when you walked into a health food store and you just saw shelves and shelves and shelves of bottles, and you're like scratching your head and you go, well, what do I need for my own personal body? Well, you can just eliminate all the guesswork and take those 4 products right there. That's all you have to do. Just get with the person who invited you to this webinar tonight, and they can show you exactly how to start your, your 2019, off on a healthier note than 2018. Dr. Biglione, I know you're on the medical advisory board for this company. Just kind of let the viewing audience understand, what sticks out to you about this company. You are very, very much like me. We are both network marketers, worst nightmares. But, as you've been with this company, what kind of sticks out when it comes to the company?
I think, when you say what sticks out, for me, it's the culture and the integrity. Company is determined to stay backed by science, and evidence. That was my biggest problem with the other companies that I was approached with. They were a bunch of hype and no substance. And when I was introduced to this company, being publicly traded meant a big deal because it's transparent. I've known so many private companies that just folded overnight. The top of the company would take all the money and then left everybody, barehanded. And this company, can't do that. It's publicly traded on the NASDAQ. It was interesting to find out why we went network marketing, but it makes a lot of sense if you think about it, because right now people still don't know what NRF2 activation is. They don't understand gene activation. They don't understand nutrigenomics. When this product was developed in 2003, it was in the retail market. But can you imagine, you go up there and you see this product, Protandim, NRF2 Synergizer, reduces oxidative stress, and people are like, what is that? They also, and this is the funniest thing, is they advertised in medical journals, and that just cracks me up because medical journals, they're trying to sell you drugs. The pharmaceuticals are what are advertising in there, and it's kind of counterproductive because Protandim is trying to make people healthier so they don't need the pharmaceuticals. So they just fail miserably at retail, and it makes sense. It takes people like us to educate people, to share the story as to, why we're in this market and why it's so important. And, facts tell, stories sell. I mean, you were talking about your vision. One of the things you told me is that your color vision was better. And sure enough, I noticed that about 48 hours, everything was just brighter, more distinct, almost like you're putting on a pair of glasses. And vision has gotten better. I mean, a patient was trying to hand me a magnifier so I could read something that she handed me. And I was like, what are you doing? She goes, you can read that? I said, yeah, most certainly I can read it. I'm activated.
Yeah, that's great.
It's been really interesting.
Yeah. Also, what I want to
I didn't see that ABC report until well after I was in the company, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Also, what I want to add to what Dr. Biglione just said about the company is, our leadership. We have a CEO that has over 26 years of experience. He is on multiple boards in this industry. He is well respected. There's only been, I want to say, 13 companies that's ever hit the $1 billion in revenue a year mark, and he's responsible for 2 of them. And so this is his first go around as a CEO. And what he's done in the last 3.5 years is went out and recruited, a Super Bowl, of executives in this industry. You got the best of the best of the best of the best. And you can just read what Yahoo Finance, what Wall Street said about our, fiscal earnings of 2019, our first, quarter just ended, and the direction that this company is moving in. So it's very, very exciting. You could look at the stock. The stock was at, 6 or 7 months ago, just a little over $2 or $3. Now it's hovering just under $13. When I started with this company, we were only in the United States. These are the countries that we're in now, and we just made an announcement where we are introducing France, Belgium, Greece, Ireland, and Spain in 2019, right around our 4th quarter, which will be June. So the company is growing. So if you're looking at this from an opportunity standpoint, you could not have picked a better time for a company, that's budding, that's starting to grow. And to understand this industry, I love this slide right here. I never realized how big of an industry it is. And you can see the growth from 2011 to 2017. Actually, we have a prediction on what we're going to close out with 2018. It's just a little over 220 billion. So the reason why you have such an increase, in growth is because of what Dr. Viglione and myself are doing with all of you tonight. I mean, she is in, Pensacola. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. We have people on this webinar that's in Germany, that's in the Netherlands, not to mention hundreds and hundreds of people all over this country. And we're able to build a business in the confines of our own home. And that's the direction, business is moving into. And it works faster, it costs less to do. Then you look at timing. Warren Buffett knows a little bit about this industry. One of his most profitable companies is Pampered Chef. And I'm sure some of you have some of his pots and pans in your kitchen cabinets. And he says this: if you're going to get involved in network marketing, you get involved before the wave, not during the wave, and certainly not after the wave. You can see in the bottom left-hand corner our little emblem down here where it says early. That's where we are right now. We're in the infancy stage. And just because that we've been in the network marketing business, for a little over 9 years, and a lot of you might think, oh, I've missed the boat. Just go tomorrow, go talk to 5 or 10 people and ask them what the activation of pathways are. What's NRF2? What's nutrigenomics? What's biohacking? Nobody's heard those terms. So don't think for 1 minute that you think you've missed the boat. We're in the infancy stage. And when you hit that momentum phase, 80% of growth. So in other words, if you bought stock, with Microsoft in the infancy stage, if you spent $1,000 in the late 70s, you're worth tens of millions today. Okay. So timing is everything. All right. So listen to what Warren Buffett says. And I think, this is the best part of the entire opportunity side. Dr. Viglione, with your practice, just ballpark, how much did it cost you to open up your practice? Just ballpark with everything you've got in there right now.
Well, with the building and everything, it was well over $200,000.
And then what's the cost of doing business each month?
Well, in my office?
Yeah.
About $60,000.
No, I'm sorry, you say 60,000?
Yeah.
What if
it's about 60.
Yeah, what if your outgo was $200? Would that be a good thing or a bad thing?
That would be a very good thing.
It's unrealistic, right? I think when the person told me that, because I own my wellness company and my payroll alone was $50,000 a month, not to mention everything else, I said, give me 5 of them. So folks, what I want all of you to understand, 93% of people in this country are building somebody else's dream. And the reason for that, they don't have the couple $100,000 like Dr. Viglione did to open up a practice. And they can't afford $60,000 a month outgo every single month. So they're stuck. So they're building somebody else's dream, right? Let me just share with you that you can own your own distribution company. And there's 3 ways to come into the business. I only have 2 of them on this slide, but you can come in as low as $350. $300 of it is product. $50 is a kit, a business kit. You can come in at $650 or you can come in at $1,250. It just depends how much product that you want. And the cost of doing business is $200 a month. And what's fascinating is you can actually offset. You can actually mitigate that $200 with people that you love and care for. In other words, customers, to as low as $40 a month. So think about that. My business does over $1 million a month in revenue, and it costs me as little as $200 a month to operate. Okay. Now think about that. My wellness company did $1 million for a year, not $1 million a month. and my payroll alone was 50,000 a month. So do the math, 50 times 12, that's 600,000. I only did a little over $1 million, not to mention insurance and, and everything else, that comes along with operating a business. So here's what I want all of you to understand. Network marketing is just a different way of being paid, because what network marketing does, it removes the brick and mortar from the equation. You heard Dr. Viglione say, my building, right? The couple $100,000 it costs to operate or to start up her business, right? We don't have any of that. There's no brick and mortar. So you can operate your business from the confines of your own smartphone. That doesn't cost you anything. And we're in the business of building a network. And everyone that you know would want to feel and look better, prevent anything from happening in the future. And when they really understand the significance on what these products offer them from a health standpoint, it's an absolute no-brainer. And to be able to kind of help you to understand why I said that, if you go to Yahoo Finance and you look at the revenues the company did, which was just a little over 200 million last year, listen to me very carefully, 74% of that 200 million are just people that are consumers. That's it. In the network marketing space, the 74% would be the distributors, all right? And the rest, the 20-something% would be the consumers. It's because of category creating products, peer reviewed, that's backed by true science, as Dr. Viglione said, not to mention the universities that are dabbling in this right now. So think about the price point, okay? That's what I want you to understand. You get in where you fit in. And what I want to close tonight with is those 93% of people that are building somebody else's dream are trading time for money. If you went to work today and you worked 8 hours, you got paid 8 hours. Then what happens to the meter? And you have to do it all over again tomorrow, right? What if you went to work tomorrow and your boss says, what are you doing here? We're going to pay you today what you did yesterday. How fast would you turn around and walk out that door? Well, that's the difference, okay? So I want to explain to you the difference between what's called linear income, that's trading time for money, versus leveraged income, doing something one time, working those 8 hours, but get paid over and over and over. I've been involved in this business a little over 9 years and 3 months, and I'm still getting paid on that very first check 9 years and 3 months ago, and it grows exponentially. So think about this, folks. I spent 35 years in one industry. The word retirement was nowhere on the horizon, okay? And I was able to walk away from those 35 years in those 22 months. How? Leveraged income. It's that simple. So get with the person who invited you tonight. There's 8 different ways of being paid. You get paid 3 on the front end, 3 on the back end, and then there's 2 other ways we get paid, okay? As far as hitting some ranks, it's called the Life Venture Program. And then you have, when you get to the Master Pro 10, the Executive and Presidential Pro 10, there's a $100,000 bonus, a $250,000 bonus, and a $500,000 bonus. So what I want all of you to understand is there is a different way, all right, to get ahead in life. And it's not linear income, okay? It's leveraged income. So really, really start to understand the significance of that. One of the ways that you get paid on the back end, and I'll close with this, is profits are better than wages, right? Well, when you hit the 7th of the 10 ranks with this company, the company will put you into this pool where you're profiting from worldwide revenues. Okay, I didn't say profits, I said revenues. When you hit the 8th rank, you're sharing in 2% of worldwide revenues. When you hit the 9th rank, and I've got here is our income disclosure statement. And if you look on the far left under paid rank and you go all the way down to Elite Pro 7, look at that monthly average income. You're in the top 4% of income earners in this country. When you hit the 8th rank, when you're sharing in 2%, look at the jump. When you hit the 9th rank, you're sharing in 3%. Look at that jump. It jumped up to 42,000. That's monthly, folks. And when you hit the 10th rank, you're sharing in 4%. Look at the jump. What I want all of you to understand, now listen to me very carefully here. We're only in 18 markets. I just shared with you in June of 2019, we're going to be in 5 more markets. So in the next 3 to 5 years, we're going to be in 50, 60, 70 markets. Our performance says we're projected to be in over 100. And right now we're only in 18. So our largest income earners are not even enrolled yet, folks. All right. So get with the person that invited you tonight. Thank them. It's obvious that you have the right list of ingredients. You have the credibility. You have the integrity. You have a large circle of influence. You know how to build a business. And what we do is we work together and we all beat to the same drum. And they'll be able to share with you in more detail, you know, on some questions that you might have. Dr. Viglione, just want to thank you so much for being on. I love when you come on. Thank you for everything that you do with LifeVantage. You just add so much value to this company. And folks, thank you for being on tonight. We will be on next Monday night, same meeting ID number. So share this with everyone that you love and care for. If you've been looking for a new business, what an incredible way to have a side hustle. I mean, obviously what we don't want you to do is take your eye off the prize right now that's supporting you. But if what you're doing right now isn't quite cutting it, this is just a side hustle. I started this as a side hustle just to make $2,200 a month. Never in a million years would I ever thought I'd be writing my last payroll check 22 months later. I'm what's called a Master Pro 10 in this business. So from that little side hustle of $2,200 a month to keep my kids in private school, this company, I was able to walk away from the fitness business and now live a lifestyle that a lot of people dream about. And what's fascinating is because it's a team business, I've been able to help 25 other families in the last 4 years do the same. So hopefully, you know, this is something that intrigued you. Hopefully what Dr. Viglione said about the science of the products, you want to put into your body. And if you're looking for a side hustle, get with the person that invited you and they'll share everything about this incredible company. So my name is Gabe Pearson. Thank you so much for being on tonight. We'll see you next Monday night. Good night.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving. It's a great week. Dr. Viglione, thank you.
You're welcome.